regardless of an intent and what was on Tua's mind. After a loss as the franchise quarterback, that's not the forum to displace that. I think he knows that now. I do honestly believe it was not. There's no ill intention, but heavy is the crown of being a franchise quarterback. I think what I do know is that he's directly communicated with a lot of guys.
All right, so that was Mike McDaniel commenting on Tua's comments after the game, essentially criticizing leadership and players not showing up to meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So now we take a step back. We've had a minute or two to let this all marinate. Who looks worse right now? Is it Mike McDaniel or is it Tua Tagovailoa?
For me, it's Mike McDaniels. I think that even though Tua should not have said what he said publicly, and that's a bad reflection on him, what he said specifically is an even worse reflection on Mike McDaniels. You can know football. You can coach it from a coordinator's position. But the head coaching position requires you to be a leader of men, which he does not appear to be.
Yeah, but so does the quarterback position, too. It's a leadership position by default. And the smell that's going around down in South Beach is the smell of regret for giving Tua that contract. Because this was supposed to be the offseason that Tua took more of a leadership position in the franchise, being more vocal. He criticized Tyreek Hill throughout the offseason. How'd that work out? He tried to organize player meetings to watch film. How's that working out? And now he's calling people out publicly after another disappointing loss to the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my former head coach, Al Groh, used to coach the New York Jets. He used to say this all the time. If you always make excuses and it's always somebody else's fault, I'm not going to like you.
Yeah.
Tua is constantly making excuses. Not just this year. Go back to last year when he was blaming Brian Flores for why his career couldn't thrive early on in Miami. This dude keeps making excuses.
Yeah.
And that is the guy that is leading the Miami Dolphins. Good luck.
Yeah. I think both and. Like, this is the reality, right? Tua definitely should not have said what he said, when he said it, how he said it, right? To say those things, you got to be lighting it up, man. You got to be balling. You can't be part of the problem, and he is part of the problem right now. That's not a good place to start from, right? That should have been held with your team in that meeting by yourself. Same for Mike McDaniels. Like, don't push this agenda further. He should have said, I addressed it with Tua. I addressed it with the team. We've handled it. This is no longer a subject we're talking about. Don't go on. Organizational alignment is a massive reflection of how good you're going to be. I mean, like, one voice principle, right? All the great teams, whether it was you and the Giants, me and the Colts, Drew and the Saints, you name it, Tom Brady and everybody said the same thing. We almost regurgitated information. That's what fighting in the press, man. Nothing good is coming out of that.
Jeff, head coach aside, if you're a quarterback, if Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers called a meeting,
right?
Guys going to be late. Guys going to not show up.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
So the players in Miami in that locker room are telling you what they think about the quarterback. All we got to do is listen.
What I'm saying to you is that I don't disagree with a syllable that you uttered, CC. I'm just telling you it don't happen if you got a leader at the head coaching spot. It don't happen. Because, again, that's going to trickle down. Because what happens if there's real leadership from the top, the quarterback's going to be held accountable before he got an opportunity to get in front of that podium and talk to the players.
That's right.
And he's going to know better. He's going to have a fear of the person above him on how things are going to come across. I used the example yesterday. I had everybody laughing. I said, hey, life is pretty good for me at ESPN. I've established some things here. Everywhere I go, I understand that Dave Robinson's my boss. I got to think about that because,
absolutely.
I mean, how's he going to feel? What's he going to say?
Yeah.
I know before I do it. So if I got conflict, it's anticipated because I know who the hell I got to answer to. I ain't blind, and I'm not foolish.
That's right.
So that's Tua don't have that.
It just adds to the dysfunction. I'm sorry. That seems to be happening in Miami right now. It's coming from all angles at this point. All right, we'll be right back. More
Smell of regret.
So obviously, when we're having these conversations, 6 games into the season, things have gone very badly. The players I had here yesterday, Teddy Bruschi, Damian Woody, were suggesting that this is an indictment. For Tua to be saying that, it's a major indictment of the coaching staff. We heard the coach respond. You were around the team last week. You start with what you're hearing here.
Tua's comments was an indictment on player leadership, not team leadership. The meetings that he's talking about aren't called by Mike McDaniel or Anthony Weaver or any of the coaches on the staff. This is me, Neek, and Jeff saying, hey, tomorrow at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday on our off day, let's come in and meet. And Jeff saying, the hell with that meeting, I'm not going. That shows a lack of respect to me. Yeah, he sounds just like Jeff. As I listened to Tua, I was teammates with him, and to me, Tua's in a place where he's trying to figure out leadership from a franchise quarterback, from a guy that's being paid, that has a ton of pressure on him, on a team that's not winning football games. And I think somewhere along the line, he's been told that, hey, you have to call your teammates out. You have to hold them accountable publicly, and that's not it. That's not the way to do it. And I don't think deep down that's who Tua is as a leader and as a person.
We had a good time laughing about me riding on the train with Ray Lewis yesterday.
Yeah.
But we actually did talk about leadership a bunch of that. And it's about authenticity, and it's also about accountability, personal accountability. Every team that I was on had these player-only meetings weekly. And it was not a, hard and fast, you better be there at this time. It was understood that you get there because you cared, and you had ownership of other people. And so, I don't care about Tua saying it to the media. The concerning part is that he felt the need, or that they're feeling like some people aren't completely bought in. And I think we can make a bunch of noise about whether he should have said this or not, but it comes down to one thing. He's not good enough to say that right now. That's what it comes down to. If he was balling, you can go talk the way that you want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
When you are also sometimes part of the problem, it looks like you're pointing the finger.
Right.
And that internal leadership is something we've always talked about this. And again, with Ray, it was like the Ravens teams were always led by the players.
Yeah. Right.
The best teams are ones that are led by the players.
100%.
And it's not like, man, I don't want to be late because coaches are going to be mad. It's I don't want to be late because I don't want to let you guys down. It's my responsibility.
Sorry, Jeff, just really quickly. You don't do it after a game. I think he was just rambling at that point.
Listen, I don't like the timing, but I don't like the timing of McDaniel either. You don't got to go out and do this either. What are you gaining from this conversation that you're having about your quarterback? You need to say, hey, I had a conversation with Tua. Right. He and I addressed it. I've addressed it with him. I've addressed it with the team, and then move forward. What he's doing is putting that out there so the world sees, hey, I'm going to stand up to this, or the front office now hears me say this. I think organizational alignment, you see it, right? What is said from the top gets repeated and regurgitated all the way down. All the best teams have it. Right now, you're not hearing the same message. That's a problem.
Final word, Danny.
I just remember when I covered the Giants, Eli Manning would have the Friday film session. Yeah. There was nothing required. There was nothing announced.
Exactly.
But the receivers kind of knew. It would be probably a pretty good idea to be there.
You want to catch a ball?
Juice on that
yeah, you want to catch a ball, you
exactly.
Be there.
Yeah. So, it seems like it's become a real mess. It's one thing to be losing games. It's a game they easily could have won and all the rest of that. It does feel like it might be falling apart a little bit at the seams. First Take is going to pick up the baton and run with it fast. Coming up next, do you trust Caleb enough to believe in the Bears? Can Bijan and the Falcons challenge the Bucs in the South? First Take, Shea, Stephen A., Jeff, Chris Canty, Drew Brees, and more. Top of the hour here on ESPN.